floor is all yours.
Thank you, Gabby. We are heavily developing in terms of features onto Wear OS because of our different projects, ongoing projects, and etc. And I would like to walk you through on some of these features. Let me go to my console and show you the device. So this is a device that I have connected. It's an Android device, and through this, my Wear OS is connected via EDP. Now, enrollment session. How do we enroll the device directly onto SureMDM console? And we have shown you in our previous session how we can do manual configuration. Now I'll show you how to do automatic configuration, which makes things little easier. And for automatic enrollment of the device, I'll scan the QR code, and then I have created a QR code here, which I have transformed with the link, and I have provided the link for downloading a wearable SureMDM app. I'll just scan this QR code, and then it will capture all the data I need. So it will capture the APK link, account ID, server path, and how you're naming your devices. I'll just say start download, and then since there is already a file, I'll just say download and install new APK, and then it will delete the old file and download it. Now with the setup mode, I have to select automatic and make sure that I connect my device with pairing option that will be available on the developer side on your watch. So if it is available, you just have to provide the IP address, pairing code, and port number, and you just have to pair your device and then connect it. Once it is connected, you just have to hit a provision device, and what it will do, it will download your MDM agent on the device, enroll the device onto your console, and it will give the device owner feature onto the watch, and then it will complete the enrollment and show you the device somewhere around here. Let me
So,
just
sort
connect.
of,
Yeah.
just in terms of the provisioning, the device that you're using to provision the watch, does that have to be on the console, or can you use any other device?
Sorry, can you repeat the question here?
So, in terms of the Android device, your
Mhm.
phone that you had remote controlled, does
Yeah.
that have to be on the console?
No, no, not necessarily, because we have a couple of customers who are using a different kind of management for their Android devices and SureMDM for their wearables. So we are quite flexible. So you
Awesome.
don't need to have the device onto the console.
Mm.
And in terms of enrollment part, here I have edited the QR code. I have put some details, but what we are doing, we are getting a kind of feature in which we can create a QR code, and target platform will be Wear OS somewhere around here, and
Mm.
it will already have the latest downloadable link, and then you can simply scan the QR code with your companion app, and you are good to go onto the device.
Awesome. Awesome.
Let me quickly connect the device to Wi-Fi. Yeah. Okay.
This is
Talking
obviously
about, yeah. Sorry, Annie, please go.
one of those new features that's coming.
Yes, this is in roadmap, and I'm having an active discussion when it is coming, and we can have a bits and bolts call for that as well. So yeah, device is online now. Talking about some new features that we have developed right now, since the feature was needed uh, onto the devices, we have developed. It was needed urgently, so we have developed kind of scripts, but later on we will have UI for them as well. So the first one is blocking the factory reset onto the device. So we do have a script where, and it works on version 2.02.02 version of the latest MR release of Wear OS, and I can simply put disable factory reset and true and send it across the device, and it will block the factory reset possibility onto the device. And that includes both your normal factory reset from the settings and key combination that you are using. So everything will be blocked. The users won't be able to factory reset the device, which adds new security onto your enrolled devices.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah. Location configuration, if your device is able to track down the location, if you have the GPS capability onto the device, you can basically have blocking of location configuration, and you can disable the location configuration, and you can also make it so this script, what it will do, it will not allow your users to turn on the location onto the device. So
Yeah,
the criteria is you have to disable the location onto the device, and then you have to push the script so that they cannot toggle between your location tracking. So we have developed two scripts for this. First is disabling the location configuration, which will not allow to change the location settings, and works on version 2.02, I mean the latest MR.
yeah,
And you also have toggle location settings. So if you have disabled and you want that the user should not be able to play with it, you just have to send the script saying that, yeah, don't play with the location tracking. It will be
yeah.
completely disabled. You cannot toggle it.
That's cool. And I guess that helps for stopping users from changing stuff they shouldn't.
Yeah, because location configuration, you can make it as true or false. So false means you cannot turn off, and then true means
Yes.
your location configuration will be disabled.
Okay.
Now you want that while I have pushed this configuration, I also want my users not to toggle anything, not to change any configuration that I have pushed, and you can have a toggle location state in that term.
Hmm.
One of the requirement was disabling the airplane mode. Users were able to disable, go into airplane mode and then make it as enable and losing all the connection. Now we can have uh, the feature not available. So we can push disable airplane mode onto the device and make it as true, and then it will disable the complete airplane mode onto the device. And this is the script that we are providing.
Hmm. That's very good. That's very
Yeah.
helpful as
So
well.
before going into the next feature, I would like to talk about the easiness of enrollment of the devices. Now, you might have seen that normally, while you are turning on the Wear OS device, you'll have to go through a lot of configuration,
Hmm.
setting up your Wi-Fi, setting up your Wear OS application onto the Android devices, and connecting it, and then changing the language, resetting it, reconnecting it, which is a tedious process.
Yeah.
I have got a method of bypassing it, where you can simply from you switch on the device, take the device out of box, switch on the device, and then select the language, go to the next screen, and you can bypass the entire process. But that is something we can discuss on project basis, or if you want to have individual call for that, and I can show you how you can bypass the complete screen right from the factory reset state, and then directly land into companion app, so that your overall enrollment method can be cut down from 8 minutes to 2.5 minutes.
Sure. That is good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is really fast.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's good.
Talking about few more features, so we have done NFC force on, and we have a scripting for that. Again, all these scripts we will try to get it into a UI format once we have all the development done, and then after a couple of releases we will put it into a UI format, and then we can have these configurations you can toggle in UI and send out a job rather than scripting onto the devices.
Cool.
You also have feature for NFC always on, so for payments and then for checking the tickets and etc. You will have to have NFC enabled, and users were able to disable it and then try to tap on it. It was not working. So we have made NFC always on and then make it as true, force it onto the devices.
Cool. That's
Also the
awesome.
Bluetooth, you can force off the Bluetooth, or you can have the condition on the Bluetooth, you can enable or disable the Bluetooth and then force it onto the devices, and they work from version 2.02.02.
Hmm.
And we have developed proxy configuration onto the devices, and CA certificate configurations that will be very much needed in case if you have advanced version of network configuration done on your network.
That's
So
very,
manual proxy, yeah,
that's
we
very,
can have, yeah. So in terms of manual proxy, works on again the latest MR version, and you can have configuration of your Wi-Fi as normal. You can put it on the scripting. You can do all these configurations when you want, but you have added kind of configuration like use proxy true and then proxy type, and you can define your host name and port name for proxy, and then push it across the device, and the device will connect to the Wi-Fi that you have enabled over here, and then it will get the proxy details that you have punched in into these configuration. And this is for manual proxy.
Hmm.
Uh, Works from version 2.02.02.
Cool. That's very good. That's very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Not only yeah. Sorry, honey. Please go ahead.
okay, okay. So then, in terms of new features and things as well that
Mhm.
we are releasing, I heard in the pipeline there's some new features coming.
We are so I'll show you what exactly I mean. I'll come to these three features after showing this one. So right now, it's doing SureLock configuration is a tough job. You
Mm,
have to create a setting, you have to export a setting, and then import the setting over here, or maybe copy the XML and then paste it over here, put the details and push it across the device.
mm,
And if everything is all right, if everything is correct, then it will work, or else it won't. So, and to bypass everything, we are developing something in terms of XLST, and
okay.
you will have SureLock settings, complete SureLock settings over here, so that you can create the configuration right onto SureMDM and push it across, rather than having a source file,
Mm,
copying the XML and then pasting it over here and then pushing onto the device. We'll have a better way of controlling the SureLock onto the devices, and we are also coming up with a lot of other features in terms of connection to the devices, your network configurations, and etc.
mm,
While we are talking about it, about the network configurations, you also have automatic proxy that you can do, in which you can define your Wi-Fi details, and then you can have the complete proxy, automated proxy defined over here, and push it across the device, and it will connect. We already had a feature for Wi-Fi configuration, a complete UI with where you were adding the Wi-Fi
the-
details,
yeah.
but the security type was WEP, WPA2, and then no other configurations. And the
Yes.
profile section is not supported on Wear OS, so we were dependent on Job for pushing on Wi-Fi
Mm,
and pushing other configurations. So that is why we have added scripting for proxies and your certificate part. How does the certificate work? Since there is no capability of pushing advanced version of security type, let me show you one. Maybe I'll go over here and then back, and then so what we do, first of all, you can take the certificate, and then you can configure the CA certificate and push it across the devices. So there is a specific path. It's not SD card. It's files/files, and then I can share the a complete device path. And then once you transfer it onto a specific part onto the device, which is data/data. Let me copy this one. This is the path where you have to push the file, and then once you do that, you can simply make the CA certificate sit onto that location, and then you have to push out a configuration. So
mm,
part one will be file transfer, and then let's say EAP, PAP, and you can have configuration of Wi-Fi where you define your identity, security type, phase, and the CA certificate path and other details that you need. So you can define your domain and then how the connection should be. So after doing all these configurations, you can push it across the devices, and it will take up that root CA certificate, and then it will connect to the Wi-Fi that you have defined over here. And not only EAP, but TLS, TTLS, any other security type that you wish to connect to
yeah, that
devices.
is very cool. That is very cool. Very
Yeah.
helpful, definitely. Especially with all the security things going
Yeah.
on at the moment.
And
That's
If you are using a combination of, let's say, Android devices and Android Wear, in that case, when you are doing Wi-Fi configuration, you have the ability to define everything over here, select it, and then you do have these methods. Now, this was lacking onto the Wear OS side, and that is
Yes.
why we have added all these security onto a scripting, and then you can basically have your device connected.
Mhm.
Talking about those scripts that I showed, and since it is on initial level, and the urgency in of these features in the project, we have developed in the form of scripting, and but those will be transformed into feature into UI, so that you can have all these customization done right from the job section, rather than having to copy each scripts and then push across the devices.
Yeah, that's very cool. That's very cool. And it makes it easier, definitely
Yeah,
for end
yeah,
users.
yeah, correct. Okay, so that's all on the new features which has been developed on the current MR version. But I would say these are 20-30% of features that has been developed in the pool of features that we have planned for next 2 quarters. But there will be lots and lots of other features that are coming into picture, with
Yes.
your automated kind of provisioning of the devices, enrollment of the devices. You're bypassing the security or the pain of going through the complete uh, that Samsung Wear OS or other Wear OS configurations, bypassing that completely, connecting the device to not to a laptop or ADB, but to a Android, and then enrolling it makes it very easier.
Yeah, definitely. That's very cool. Thank you, Saurav.
Okay. So as usual, bits and bowls, your bi-weekly take coffee break, and I have my coffee ready. I hope Kenny,
Yes,
you have your coffee.
I do. I do. I do. And it's strange being here without the tall man and the handsome other gentleman here. But I
I
see,
thought we are the handsome and tall gentlemen on this call. We are the younger version of Stuart and
yes,
Alma. That is what I
yes,
was trying to introduce myself to.
yes, that is actually very cool.
Loving that, guys. No, this has been really, really good. I see we have no questions. So we'll give you another maybe 10 seconds to see
Yeah.
any questions. We know again we had the request about some printer management, which we were actually waiting for our technical guys to be available, but this time we actually decided to talk about Wear OS.
Mhm.
But that's coming up in the next, hopefully the next one or the one after. So, and yeah, so still no questions. So, but again, if you have any question that are marketing related, please do not, don't feel shy. Just send emails to partnermarketing@42gears.com. I manage that inbox alongside my colleagues. So I'll see any questions and any tech support questions also to techsupport@42gears.com. So something has come in. Let's see what has
Oh,
come in. Let's have a look. What have we got? Have we got any questions? Yes, we actually have two questions.
wow.
So we have one. How often does SureMDM console update? Is there a fixed schedule?
Normally, I would say every month there is some release going on, some new features or some fixes that go into picture. So there are different levels of release. One is market release, which takes time, and there is hot fixes that normally comes every month with some of the new features and some of your bug fixes that you might have faced in the previous version. So every month, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's also beta releases of some agents. So you'll see on your tags on the console, you can assign a beta tag to your device, and it'll update that beta agent on your device as well. So it's one release before it gets officially released.
Okay, thank you. And we have one, if a Wear OS writes a file into SD card download, it's not visible via remote control.
Yes, because of the restriction, there was a restriction which was put into Wear OS after, I guess, Wear OS 5 or Wear OS 6. Yeah. So there was a restriction that you cannot have the availability of everything onto the device. You cannot send it to documents. You cannot send it to downloads. Rather, you can send it to data/data and then the files folder, and then you will have the visibility in that terms. So I would suggest to email me, and I'll show you. Either I can show you on call, or I can send you the details of how exactly that will work and what is the file path, plus how you can see it onto the remote support.
Cool.
Perfect.
Okay, so if there are no other questions, so we will see you again on June the 10th, and we'll be surprised who will be our host then. Thank you ever so much. Thank you, Suarez. Thank you, Annie, and
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Keep well. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.